Welcome to 365 Christian Men, where every day we aim to inspire and encourage with real-life stories about men. November 6th, Chuck Colson. On this date in 1969, Chuck Colson was appointed Special Counsel to President Nixon, and some people referred to him as Nixon's hatchet man. After the Watergate scandal, and after coming to know Christ, Colson founded Prison Fellowship. It has since become the nation's largest Christian nonprofit that serves prisoners, former prisoners, and their families, and is a leading advocate for criminal justice reform.
From the ashes of broken lives, God can raise up changed men. Wealthy, powerful, proud. 3 words that summed up Colson's life at the height of his career as President Nixon's right-hand man. A man who drank and smoked heavily, who partied with the rich, famous, and powerful. Never in a million years would Colson have imagined that God would one day destroy his powerful but incredibly sinful life. In 1973, after government organizations and reporters revealed the involvement of President Nixon in the illegal wiretapping of phones in the offices of the Democratic National Committee, the Nixon administration came under intense public scrutiny and investigation. Chuck Colson, who had masterminded many of Nixon's political schemes, including spying on political opponents, began to buckle under the pressure, especially when the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the release to Congress of all of Nixon's secret recordings of White House meetings. Colson said, "My world was collapsing. I had an overwhelming sense that I was unclean." Before serving as Nixon's special counsel, Colson's law firm had represented the Raytheon Company, a major U.S. defense contractor, and on a hot, humid night in August 1973, Colson decided to visit Raytheon's president, Tom Phillips. Tom had become a Christian, and he seemed so different. I wanted to ask him what happened. He read to me from Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis, particularly about the great sin that is pride. A proud man walks through life looking down on other people. He cannot see something above himself immeasurably superior, God. That night, Tom told me about encountering Christ in his own life. Tom even offered to pray with Colson, who politely refused, promising he would visit again after he had read the book for himself. But Colson's escape from his friend Tom did not go as he had planned. Colson said, "When I went to drive away, I could not. I was crying too hard, and I was not one to ever cry. I spent an hour calling out to God. I did not even know the right words. I simply knew that I wanted Him. God heard my cry. Jesus came into my life." Less than a year later, on March 1st, 1974, Colson was named one of 7 co-conspirators in the Watergate scandal. He initially pled the Fifth Amendment to avoid testifying against himself, but after much prayer, he pled guilty to a related crime, defaming Daniel Ellsberg, who had compiled damning evidence against the Nixon administration. Colson was indeed a changed man. Colson was sentenced to 7 months in prison, and although he had received Christ and was genuine in his conversion, his life appeared to be in ruins. The Lord, however, chose this dark time to reveal His plans. Colson said, "I found myself drawn to the idea that God had put me in prison for a purpose. I felt God's hand on my shoulder. 'Submit yourself to me, and I will guide you,' were the words implanted in my mind." Colson emerged from prison with a new mission: to mobilize the church to minister to prisoners. Prison Fellowship was founded in 1976, and as of the year 2020, God is still using the ministry to serve prisoners, former prisoners, and their families. Hundreds of thousands of men and women have encountered Christ through prison fellowship. Psalm 32, verse 8 tells us, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you. Have you surrendered your life to Jesus Christ and asked Him to make you a new man? From the ashes of broken lives, God can raise up a changed man.
Thank you for listening to today's story. Every day of the year, our hope is to inspire you with real-life stories of faithful men who have gone before us. Hebrews 12:1 says, Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin that so easily ensnares us. Let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. Join us tomorrow for another story at 365christianmen.com.